You, you made it. It's afternoon. It's almost. I'm very proud of you. As you can see, we have a panel right now, but it kind of looks different. There are no sofas. So I'm the host for today. It's a man versus machine talk. It's called a fire chat. My name is Kien. I'm happy to have you here. And I would like to introduce you the contestant or the guests who are going to be here grilled on the stage by me and you. So we have David from DRÄXLMAIER again. Then we have Anthony. I go the backwards way of the presentations. From Schaeffler. You can stand wherever. Then we have Mr. Phuc from KUKA. And Dr. Lennart from SYNAOS. Again, it doesn't look like a regular panel anymore, and I didn't want to do it. After throwing in some ideas, we're gonna make it a little bit different. So here are the rules. I'm gonna throw in theses or hypotheses, and they have to buzz in and have a maximum time of 60 seconds to answer, to comment it, to defend it. I mean, sometimes it's in your field and you try to explain that it has a future. Sometimes it's not. So we heard today presentations for those who were not in the conference here. Factory side, manufacturing side, digital journey, adoption. Some have a sophisticated approach. Some is trial and error. And we have innovation players such as KUKA and SYNAOS helping on the journey of automation, AI adoption. So we're gonna start off with the first example question, the hypothesis. I'm gonna throw it in, and you have then 60 seconds. You don't need to turn around. I'm gonna read out the question behind you, okay? And I swear to you, I did not give the questions ahead to them. And they were okay with it. Let's start. Okay. Manual labor scales faster. I can hire 50 people tomorrow, but robots take 6 months to arrive. Who wants the answer? Or comment, defend? Give it a try. Mr. Phuc?
I believe if you are doing business in Vietnam long enough, and you have the factory in Vietnam, after every Lunar New Year, you will have the very interesting problem to hire back the workers from the hometown, right?
Very good. Anyone else? David?
True in a way, because if we are happy with your 50 people and you can replace them, why bother with a robot?
You want to leave it like that?
So why we have to choose A or B? Why we do not combine it?
Wow.
We optimize the financial report.
Wow.
That's where collaborative robot come in.
Yes.
Very interesting aspect. Thought a few steps ahead for this digital journey. Anyone else want to answer this? Okay, then I jump to the next one. But everyone is now clear on the rules. By the way, the last 10 minutes will be for you. You get a microphone and you can give a thesis as well. So think of your questions as well. Leasing workers is safer risk management than owning depreciation hardware. Yes, please.
I mean, you can also lease hardware, so there are a lot of models where you can lease your mobile robots, for example, to do work in your factories. So I think you can have both ways.
You want to leave it like that?
Yeah, exactly. You probably heard about the robot as a service. Yeah, that is the new business model becoming more and more common nowadays. Yeah, you lease the robot as if you are paying your workers every month.
One of my key lessons in manufacturing is leasing workers kills quality. So don't do it.
So no leasing robots, no leasing workers. Okay, no leasing.
No leasing, no.
Well, okay.
So what if the robot not run today? So maybe you need the people. But what if people get sick today? How do you deal with the certain situation? So I would say like we need the good manager to make decision than talk about Schaeffler risk measurement or not.
So we come back to the expert, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else? If not, I will jump. So I have roughly 20 questions, and after that, I will reach out to you and pass around the microphone. Automating a bad process just speeds up the production of waste. Do you agree?
Toyota, they start with the term of TPM. They invent the one-piece flow, and whenever they have the error, they just stop production line.
Completely stopping the production line.
Yes. So it means it's not produce the waste.
Then you always stop a production line.
And then they need to ensure the performance of system.
Oh, okay. Anyone else to it? Lennart?
So I totally agree. So if you think about automating things which have been done manually before, you definitely need to rethink your processes, and depending on what kind of equipment you're going to use, there will be a change, and you have to consider this when you plan a project, definitely.
Thank you. Can you imagine that in your production line, if you automate things?
Automation is possible, yes. And it's the desired state, but it's just not commercially feasible at the moment for us. So I would fully agree with this statement, yeah.
Thank you.
I'm still thinking what kind of bad process you're referring to, whether the bad for people, bad for worker, or challenging for automation. So what is the bad process you're referring to?
Well, bad process is a general term. You can actually have a waste of efficiency and time. You can have waste of product. You can have waste of all kinds of byproducts. And that's why not only there are robotic automation.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else? I think you agree with that. You also kind of agree. That means coming back to the people.
Yeah.
Okay, a used forklift has resale value. A 5-year-old AMR is just expensive e-waste.
So coming back to the leasing topic, so there are a lot of finance companies now offering the leasing model, and they even like have a second-hand AGV AMR market now. So there, of course, you need to make some rehaul, some overhauling, and maybe replace batteries, but this is possible. So there's even like a second life for already used AGVs, AMRs, maybe on different regions, but that's a market which is actually expanding at the moment.
So you see it more optimistic.
I think we have an expert here from Fenica, Mr. Nguyen. He's an expert to convert the used forklift to the autonomous forklift before. Right?
We have Fenica here, unfortunately not invited for the talk, but yes, the question out of the thesis out of here is how long or short is the lifetime of a robot or a factory, right? Because it always changes. Would you like to say something? Life cycle of an AMR?
Oh, that's at least 10 years.
So no, not 5 years. Yeah. The number is wrong. Okay. Anyone else want to say something? No. Oh.
Yeah, in Schaeffler we also have some machines run since 1970 until now. So I believe that until you don't have the maintenance team, it becomes waste. But if you have the expert, good engineer, the AGV or AMR cannot become the e-waste.
Thank you. Even longer and beyond 10 years. Okay, proprietary. So software traps you. You lose the freedom to choose best-in-class hardware. Imagine any software that you purchase, you are locked in.
I guess I have to answer to this. I'm offering a software which is enabling you to be interoperable, so to keep the hardware choice depending on the use case, so always to select the best hardware. So what we really see is an automation when you start. Of course, sometimes you really want to start small. You want to start fast, like having like 1 robot, 2 robots going around and doing the certain thing. But what we really see is with with each pilot, with each small project you're adding in this way, you're building up like a legacy, okay? So you're building up kind of automation legacy, and once you are scaling and more robots are coming and the use cases are overlapping, then you really have like built up a high legacy and you need to invest again. So really think when you start with this at the beginning, and if you really see a case where you are scaling in the same factory and stuff like this, really try to stay independent from the beginning, is my advice.
Any thought from you? Sharing?
So I will come back to financial topic again. Like in the software, they are saying like if it's run well, don't touch it. So it means it still produces money for you. Just keep it producing money. Don't touch it. And therefore, you don't need to choose the best in the class. You choose the suitable one for you.
Are sometimes software locking you in and limiting you?
So definitely, so this is quite an emotional topic in our factory, to be honest. It's not only the freedom to choose best-in-class hardware, but hardware to a reasonable price. Because the software provider uses the connection between the two to ask for higher prices in the hardware that you would normally just pay yourself on the market. So this is something which is a constant discussion with our central purchasing department, who wants to keep it all together and keep it nice and simple. So I fully agree.
Out of interest, what's the tendency to that decision making?
I'm not done with the battle yet. I can't tell.
Okay, thank you. Next one. If nobody wants to answer it, then I'll go to the next one. Mobile robots need wider aisles, which actually reduces your total warehouse storage capacity. Ooh. Hashtag space efficiency.
Yeah. From my experience, mobile robot usually need to be combined with the automatic warehouse. So with your automatic warehouse, you need to have the mobile robot to automatically load and unloading the goods in and out. That will increase your storage capacity. Yeah, because the mobile robot cannot combine or work together with the worker inside the storage warehouse.
There are also cases where mobile robots like high-reach trucks are used in warehouse, in high racks, for example, and it's true, so they need a little bit more space, but still you also have to see that there are different advantages. For example, you immediately can run 24/7, and for example, if you have a case where you have to pick something out of a high rack, and then the worker needs to do the picking in the morning, like during night, the autonomous operations can prepare everything that all for the orders for the next day are already prepared, and if you don't do this autonomous or automatically, you can't do it, and you have to do it at the beginning of the shift. So yes, there might be a little bit more space requirement, but you have on the other side a lot of other advantages.
So I think for the first tendency is wrong. So because like why mobile robot need wider eyes? So we encourage other company research and find a solution for us. If I have the small eyes, so please provide me solution. That's in my requirement. And if you cannot provide it, find another vendor.
That's a simplistic approach, and I like it. Anyone else? Okay, you counterfeited one. Navigation fails in dynamic environments where pallets are constantly moving. Mapping versus reality is the hashtag. So actually, pallets moving and you have a dynamic environment means you rearrange your factory and shop floor all the time.
So navigation means that the robot knows where it is depending on its environment, and there are lots of different techniques. I mean, you can like put magnetic line tape on the floor, you can put like QR codes on the floor, you can even have some camera things from the wall locating mobile robots. In modern AGVs, AMRs, it's done with LiDAR, so there's laser, and that's how they're doing it. And that's right, if your environment is highly dynamic and they are losing their reference points, then it can be a challenge. But in these cases, you need to either add another navigation technology, so combining it, or just make a switch. So we have cases where we go on normal highways, like with the free navigation, laser-based, And when it comes to like really dynamic environments, we're switching to QR codes or whatever. So there's technical solutions. This is right, but it's solvable.
Okay, technical solutions, but?
I agree, it's solvable.
Okay. So not an issue at all, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. Hashtag throughput speed. For pure A to B speed, a human driver, especially in Vietnam, always beats safety-rated robots. Yes, please?
I'm afraid this is true, at least from the technology I have seen so far. So you need to be very careful and understand how compact the layout of your warehouse or your production is to determine what is the best solution for you.
I hope you grind now, okay?
I mean, the question is the human driver also safety rated? So I don't think so in many cases, really.
True.
Anyone else?
Yeah, that's sometimes true. In a certain environment, I witnessed a real scenarios in a dairy company, manufacturing company, where the forklift driver, a bunch of them driving to try to avoid each other. It's like the traffic in our road. Yeah, that for sure. Speed is number one, but safety is not a story.
I think you agree, right? With whom?
So I think, yes, in some case human can beat the robot, but in the long run, who will win?
Thank you. I believe everyone had made a statement. Footprint. Charging station take up premium floor space that could be used for production.
Yeah, that comes to my mind sometimes, I have to say.
You are very, very conservative and pessimistic to innovation, aren't you?
Well, it's not innovation for innovation's sake, right? We're here to have a business case, meet a business case. So it is true. And even the forklifts, those stations are huge, and the safety requirements we have. So I can resonate, I can feel that question, yes.
Lennart?
It's right. For a certain extent, you can lower this pain by using wireless in-process charging. So there are options to have wireless charging, and when the robot is driving into a station and dropping something, then it's in-process charge automatically. So you then reduce the amount of charging stations you need because you have in-process charging. But totally, still you have some charging stations where they can park and be charged for a while. Yeah.
Yes, Anthony?
I don't agree. Because like you cannot break your car into piece and tell this part is expensive. You need to look at the total solution. If total solution can bring the benefit for you, look at that.
You just explained the digital journey of Schaeffler in a different example, didn't you? Anyone else? I mean, it's discussable, I believe, though. I don't want to comment too much. I will wrap it up later. Hashtag environmental durability. Dust and humidity in Vietnam kill high-end sensors faster than European manuals predict.
That is certainly not true. We use high-tech machines from Switzerland, Comax machines. They are full of sensors, very sensitive ones as well. And as long as you do proper maintenance, you're very safe with production here.
I'm glad that you're positive now.
Yeah, try to be, yeah.
So I've been to many European and North American factories, but I also have been to a Vietnamese factory, a big one of an automotive company. And I mean, you will definitely find dirtier ones also somewhere else in the world. I mean, there is a certain degree here, but the bigger issue is not the dust and the dirt. The bigger issue is like what I saw, that like unwrapping stuff and then leaving pieces laying around of some foil. This is really for mobile robots like a kind of a killer, because then they get like distracted in the navigation or they get it into the wheels. So this is rather the problem than dust and humidity.
I don't agree. Need to look at the analytics report. Let's see what's the problem, find the root cause. And it's just one small thing, I believe.
In the end, take care of your damn equipment, right? Okay, this has somehow nuances to one provider here. Interoperability. Standardization is a myth. VDA 50/50, open standard, rarely works seemingly in practice. Well, we had a signage today with a partnership, but let's see what you say.
KUKA, how's your robot running over there?
I still don't find any problem yet.
No, maybe I go in there. I mean, it's standard, and you can always talk about, do I need a standard? Is it like an overhead you have to do? Totally agree. And what I can also, from our experience, tell you that, of course, like maybe the starting point, getting into the first project, when you do come together with a new partner, then you have to put some effort in there that the communication is done properly. But from that point in time, once you have done this, I can tell you that scaling is really, really much faster than if you like do property, APIs and integration every time again. We have Schaeffler, for example, as a global customer, and they are rolling out like 14 different sites in 1 quarter with us at the moment. So it's really, they did the pain at the beginning, onboarded some and went this way with us, and now they can just decide in which factories they are going with the robots, and we are ready to go.
No one else about VDA standard? Okay. You defended VDA 50/50 successfully.
Slightly.
Thank you. Okay. Traffic management. Deadlocks are inevitable. Fleet software still struggles when 50 robots meet at a crossroad. Did I see a nodding head?
I mean, if 50 robots meet at one crossroad, I think your process is badly designed if they meet there at one point at the same point in time. So, but in general, so deadlock prevention, deadlock detection, and deadlock resolving are big topics fleet management software need to be aware of. And some are better, some are worse, but in total, that's something, together with a good process design, you can solve. So we have installations of up to 200 mobile robots in one facility, even though still going over intersections, some manual guys, some guys on bicycles, some forklift drivers, and you can coordinate all of this. So that's possible, definitely.
I would love to see 50 robots at Schaeffler. So, Anthony?
Yes. But I think it's true. But that's the reason why we have motivation for continued improvement. And we still need people, senior guy, do research, and we still have the job to do it.
Anyone else? Okay. A hacked robot fleet is a bigger operational risk than a striking workforce. Cybersecurity.
Is it?
That's exactly the reason that the newer generation of robot, from most of the big robot players, they need to comply with the cybersecurity compliance. For example, KUKA, all of our new generation robot, we comply with either CRA from Europe or machine regulatory, some of the latest cybersecurity requirement.
Okay, you're working on it at KUKA. I understand. Anyone else? I mean, you, with your staff, cutting off the AI usage was already one thing with cybersecurity, but
Okay, so
this is more specific robot fleet. But
let me
okay.
quickly. A striking workforce is something you can predict.
Yeah.
The strike that doesn't fall from heaven. Imagining that jet production suddenly stops and nobody expects this to happen without warning would be a horror for production. So I'm happy to hear that we try to make those systems safe.
Anthony,
I would say it's equal, not bigger or lesser, because we consider it's the downtime. Everything stops, and therefore that's the trade-off. You need to consider when you make decision for investment.
So, cybersecurity is one of the biggest topics then now in the future when you're controlling on the workforce, which is robotics. Huh? This is a new undefined area. Anyway, anyone else? I believe it's very clear that we don't want to have it. Okay, IT bottlenecks. ERP integration takes longer than building at the actual factory.
Your expertise.
I would say like 95 of our projects are connected to an ERP or WMS system, and every time we are talking to a new customer, that's like one of the biggest fears they are having, like, oh no, I have to integrate to SAP or something, it's like heavy weight. But I can tell you, an FMS, which has like a well-defined API to get the orders in, it just needs a small adapter, connector, or whatever. It can even build by any third party if it's well designed, and this is never, so in our case, it was never like something on the critical path in a project which delayed anything. So I would say that's not true.
Yes, Anthony?
I agree. I already have experience on that.
Size does matter, huh, of the factory.
And the most significant time spent on training and practicing. So therefore, build fast, but how to maintain it, that is take a long time for that.
Maybe a bit unrelated, but an ERP upgrade can take longer than the lifetime of a factory.
So I'm the host and the MC, but I love to undercut the 1 year. But it always depends, of course, of the customer, yeah, and what system you already had in legacy. So this is the comment from Gradion's side, yeah. But confident maybe. Did we reach the end? No, we did not reach it. AI necessity. We need boring, deterministic reliability, not creative AI decision making. This reminds me of the presentation of you two, Anthony and David, because your approach is completely different. So, please grind.
So I'm supposed to be the traditionalist now, right?
Well, when you refer to your own presentation, yes.
AI is based on statistics, right? Those are mathematical models, so it's about reliability and not creativity for me. So I don't quite get this question, to be honest.
So we consider AI just like a tool. When you need support, you use the tool for that. If you need a tool to help you make decisions, you use AI. And of course, the creator of AI, they need to ensure for reliability of the data.
I would love to ask you later the questions, which decision you have made with AI. But let's for later.
So, for example, like the classification, when it receives the message, it knows who should be, how to say, the message should be redirected to. Maybe I'm not the right one. He's
Thank you. Okay. Okay.
Wait. So, of course, you need to have a reliable operations, but your goal is to be as productive as possible, there you go. And of course, you need to have a reliable operations, but everybody who has been on like a big factory, and you guys have been, it's highly dynamic down there, okay? So people are driving around, maybe robots are driving around, and so things change. So sticking to like one plan and having like a really long-term plan, this will not guarantee you to stay on the where you want it to be. So my thinking is operations needs to be really, really deterministic, reliable, to have the highest output, but the planning behind it needs to be as dynamic and fast as possible because things change. Robots are coming late, a forklift driver decides to have a small break or whatever, so we really need to be adaptive here to the real world on the shop floor.
I'll wrap it up, actually, numeric data, and then for decision making, which especially when it changes, so visibility on everything. Okay, I'll let that go. Maintenance skills. You need a PhD to fix these robots, not a standard mechanic. Yes, Anthony?
just replaces spare parts. Just take out and replace by another part.
So you can do it, you say it.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody.
Sometimes we do need a PhD to go to the site to fix the robot, so he knows how the robot works in practical, rather than just working theoretically on the research center.
Okay. Yes. Anyone else? If not, I think I'm reaching the last questions here, but there are some still. Form factor. Wheels are superior to legs. Humanoid robots are just engineering vanity. I think this is very specific to one guest here, because you have tested out something already.
So there's some area the wheel cannot reach to. So you need another kind of tool. So maybe the leg is more suitable. And therefore, as I always mention, like you select the suitable one for your situation. Don't judge on just technology.
Okay, no experience yet to comment. Okay. Anything from SYNAOS? More direction humanoids?
Yes, of course. I mean, for us, it doesn't matter if for our software, it doesn't matter if the robot has legs or rolls or wheels, it doesn't matter. But from my perspective, so there are now also many humanoids on the market which are combining wheels with arms and stuff like this. So I think this is really, for some applications, a good way to go, because then you don't have the big challenge or the big control challenge with the wheels, but can still have some of advantages of the humanoid. But as Anthony said, there are also cases where the whole environment is designed for like human being in there, and you need to kind of have legs, and there are of course use cases for this. So it's not either or, so it really depends on the field you are using it.
That means technology evolves quickly and gets there. Okay. Simulation versus ops. Digital twins are excellent sales tools, but useless for daily operations. Wow. Okay. Can anyone answer this? I know it's not related to every field of yours, but...
I had experience with digital twin. I also have project regarding to that, metaverse. Yes, it's very hard to find the use case can bring the real benefit to daily operation. And that's a long journey to identify which is the best use case. And I would say, with current situation, yes. But I believe one day digital twin will play the better role, especially in planning. When you want to simulate a thing, you want to involve to see how, when the plan change, you want to predict what can happen before. So we still see very potential in this area. Yep.
Very optimistic. David?
We tried in my business field as well, but we were failing on the complexity of process and product. And but I would love to see it happening. There's a demand, I think, out there, even in traditional industries. But we haven't had yet the capacity, maybe mental capacity as well, to come to that stage.
Optimistic, classic following, right, on the market.
Fast follower. Yes.
Fast follower. Yeah. Yes.
So from my perspective, like for having like 3D modeled like omniverse virtual twins, or digital twins, there's at the moment not really the business case for it, so it's really hard to find it. But in our case, with our product, you always get a digital twin, because what's really important is once you have something running and you want to change something, of course we are in production and it's a business critical system, you want to have as small impact as possible on the production, so you take everything in the digital twin, do your changes, you move whatever you want to move and change it, you can test it there, and once you're satisfied you can just push it over to production in coordination with the customer. But that's like where I see a huge benefit of digital twin.
Thank you. Cognitive abilities. Sensors see data, but they don't understand context like a human does. So I think of you, David, because you mentioned your data collection and then starting to work with alphanumerics. How reliable this is and the AI is to understand that, no?
Yeah, but that's a problem of the modeling, I think. That can be overcome in the future. I believe that the better we are and the more sophisticated those models get, the more context they understand, and the better the decisions will be. So we are just at the beginning of a journey here.
So you're optimistic?
I am optimistic there, yes.
Okay. Anyone else? Up to you. You don't need to feel forced, yeah? If nobody answers, I will force you. Okay. The end goal. Lights out manufacturing is a marketing myth, not a realistic business goal.
Agree.
We heard it before.
Yes. No further words. No, it's just, if you look at maintenance, if you put more automation in, there is more failure. Yes.
Anthony, is anywhere dark factory somewhere written in any slide of Schaeffler, internally or externally? That is a goal.
I would say this depends on our boss. So therefore, that depends on business goals. And we also consider the risk when we invite everyone join the digital world. But the trade-off is they need to prepare for security, and they need to learn, they need to invest more. So therefore, I would say it really depends on what you want to invest and what you want to achieve.
So in warehousing, some warehouses are getting really close to this, so that they really have, so also it can be differently designed, so because people don't go in there. So there are cases in manufacturing. I agree that the role of the worker, of the human, is just changing from being operative or doing operative tasks to like supervision and expert level tasks. So and by this, of course, if you want to, you can reduce the amount of labor you need, but still you will need some.
Here's one comment from my side, sharing something. So not even more than 35 kilometers from here, you will find a dark factory, which has already been established 12 years ago. Well, what you have to mention is there's no ROI. But I've seen it already. So testing, experimental, never return on invest, happened before. But I believe it was not the right timing to invest into that because the tools get more sophisticated. But in Vietnam, 12 years ago, invested already in a dark factory. Just mentioning on the side. Oh, that would be the last question that I have prepared. So I wish to invite you right now for one of your statements or hypotheses. Make it short, 1 or 2 sentences. Just them to interact, comment, defend, or whatsoever. If you have anything, I would love to invite you to take the grab the microphone. Can I get a microphone? Oh, right there. Okay. Anyone? Oh, hello, Alyssa.
So thank you for the sharing. I just have one question. So I heard about the risk in cybersecurity. So beside that, is there any potential operational risk that automation can bring to manufacturing?
In my opinion, it's dependency on the provider. Manual manufacturing will always be more flexible than tying yourself to a certain provider of an automated solution. Certainly, it might be easier in logistics, where you can build platforms, but if you come to the core machine and the core process, it gets more and more difficult. So that is a second risk I see. But it's a way we have to go, to be honest, in order to gain the necessary efficiency.
Thank you. Anyone else? Oh, yeah.
Do you think that AI will be considered as a team member or as a tool in the future?
You wrote 3 letters on your slide.
There are many ways to describe the AI role. And for me, anything related to the machine, to the system, that is a tool. Because the team member, they should have emotion, like the human is the best. Yes.
Anyone else? Yep. One more, please. Yeah, microphone.
Yeah, thank you very much for your sharing. I have got one question for Mr. Lennart Bochmann. Yeah, one question. Yeah, question. Yeah, the German, the factory industry, is facing 1,000 job cuts. Question for you: it is a step backward or necessary preparation of transition of fully robot production model?
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
Whether it well, with the job cutting in Europe and Germany, the impacts now into integrating robotics, what kind of future that leads to, from what I understood. Okay.
So, if I understand correctly, so yes, automation is a big topic for factories in Germany or all over Europe. I mean, we have labor is not that is quite expensive. So of course, to stay relevant in producing industrial goods, all factories have to go this way. And from my perspective, as soon as you are producing 2 shifts per day, every manufacturer is considering it. Yes.
Okay, thank you. One more guest here.
The notion of safety or avoidance of accidents has not been mentioned as a ground to go to autonomous movement of goods, AMR, AGV versus manual forklift. Is that not considered a reality?
I think we have not enough accidents for that, to be very honest. We do see the risk, of course, when people are trained constantly and there are safety mechanisms in place, but at the same time we have the 0 accident policies, and in a lot of factories it's the same and it's standard. And so the problem is not big enough to be pushing the topic in that direction.
But I see a lot of customers having this challenge. So they go with the manual operations and have lots of accidents, and also like equipment gets damaged. I can also give you pictures of customers, a lot of pictures where like autonomous robots and manual forklifts are in place and there are crashes, and when you trace it back, it always is that the manual one kept driving and crashed at some point in time. So that's definitely something we see, that a lot of manufacturers are also rethinking, trying to get a little bit less forklifts into their factory to increase the safety.
In Schaeffler, we emphasize on sustainability development. So therefore, like the reason why we take long time for experiment is because we have the governance framework for safety first and zero trust in security. So therefore, like for every solution or use case, we spend time for investigate is there any risk related to the people, to the system, and that's the one of our core value. Yep.
Thank you. Anyone else? I think, Kien? Oh, you have 2 more questions?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this panel. So I'm currently developing a self-assessment questionnaire for our customers to show them where they are in the AI adoption phase. One question we ask, for example, is how many users actually use AI daily. You seem to be experts in your field. What kind of metrics are you looking at with your customers that to show them where they stand and that you are looking to improve with them? Like one key metric.
So we often look at orders per hour, or maybe also like how many units the factory is producing on a day or something. So this is really important, because for us in intralogistics, I mean, I'm not on the manufacturing side, not like on the machines, but on intralogistics within the warehouse, it depends on the density of orders and the density of transport, if it really makes sense to invest, or if you rather have like a low intensive intralogistics. So this is really like the orders per hour, orders per day.
Anyone wants to comment? No? Okay, please.
Maybe a question for Lennart and Phuc. We spoke about the space that you need in the production to charge AGVs, AMRs. What about upgrading the systems with maybe more battery capacity, or also better wheels to reduce the rolling resistance, to save energy, or any ideas in this regard?
So I mean, that's rather a hardware design topic than software, but what we see is we also have systems in place where you can do a battery swap. And then, of course, you still need like kind of an area, and it's done manual there, and maybe you can also automate it, but still you don't need charging station then, and it just goes there, gets swapped, and then can go for it, for example.
Yeah, one more question. I have one question for Mr. David. Exactly 2 questions. Yeah, the first question for you regarding the medium size of the warehouse. How long does it take for me to recover my capital if I investment for AI robot platform? And the second question, in the age of automation, can AI complete relay roll up warehouse, or will it only serve as the decision making support tool? Thank you.
Did you get the question?
I'm not sure if I'm the best person to answer that question, because we have not tried to fully automate and run our warehouse with AI, but it would be a significant challenge because the warehouse management system in the whole group is based on the same platform. So that will then be a global project, which everybody knows has significant obstacles in corporations.
So the rollout has not been done yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
I thank everyone. I would take just a few minutes here. Thank you everyone as a guest. So because I'm looking at the watch and the time, we will have like 2 or 3 takeaways that I would like to give to you, because innovations in factories and manufacturing is not new. Every factory, in every discipline, in every profession we want to work, we want to increase our productivity and efficiency. Now, with technology, nowadays, a Pandora box has been opened. Talking about AI, talking about the digital journey, before talking about only the digital journey, was a specific word cloud already. There are different approaches we have seen. Number 1, to wrap it up again, you open the Pandora box and welcome it. Yeah. This is how I understand it.
Yes.
And the word in the end that you have written in your slide also is AGI. So you think very, very further in case of. Here, as a fast follower, understanding technologies when they have cases and they make sense in your road and journey. We have innovation players who bring now new toys to the market, which is needed to be more sophisticated. So, and innovation, and talking about automation, is currently, I believe, one of the most important topics, especially now here in Vietnam. Looking at the digital law 51, we know that innovation investments will be also supported by the government. So we are talking about now from the bigger picture that we want to increase efficiency or export here from Vietnam only from that perspective. The government is campaigning for it, meaning the competition needs to be strong here still in Vietnam. And we see KUKA is here, meaning in a low labor cost country, still have cases where customers buy robotics, then there's a reason to it. First implementation with Gradion here now and SYNAOS here, thanks to Schaeffler. So there is demand, there's a direction, and it's a matter of using and utilizing your tools correctly to be prosper in the future. So again, thank you. In the end, it was a panel. It just was wrapped in a different dress. So thank you for your time. I hope it was entertaining for you. Feel free to engage with everyone here. Thank you for coming, yeah?